Every morning at exactly 7:23 a.m., she walked into my coffee shop. Rachel Morrison, successful lawyer, always ordered the same thing: large cappuccino, extra shot, no foam. For 6 months, I watched her from behind the espresso machine, memorizing the way she talked on her phone, the way she tapped her manicured nails on the counter, the way she smiled when I got her order perfect. I'm Jake, 27 years old, barista and secretly head over heels in love with a woman who probably didn't even know my name. Until the day she broke down crying at table 7, and I learned that her perfect life was falling apart. Hi, I'm Jake Miller. I work as a barista at Blue Moon Coffee here in Seattle. This little coffee shop isn't just a job for me, it's the center of my dreams and passions. I genuinely love making coffee. There's a story behind every cup, every customer brings a different world. But none of them were as captivating as Rachel. I first saw her 6 months ago. It was a cold November morning, it was drizzling outside, and I had come to the shop at 6:30 a.m. as usual, preparing the machines. Around 7:20, the door chimed and she walked in. That moment, I felt time stop. She was tall, elegant, brown hair pulled back in a perfect bun, gray suit, black heels, leather briefcase in hand. But what caught my attention most were her eyes. Green, intelligent, determined. She approached the counter and said, "Large cappuccino, extra shot, no foam." Her voice was confident but not unkind. "Sure," I said, probably with a bit too much enthusiasm. "Name?" "Rachel," she said briefly. From that day on, she started coming regularly. Every morning at 7:23, you could set your watch by her. Never late, never early. 7:23, the first few weeks she'd just place her order, I'd make her coffee, she'd thank me and leave. But gradually, small routines formed. While waiting for her coffee, she'd make phone calls, tapping her nails on the counter, always the same rhythm. Tap, 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 pause, tap, tap. Meanwhile, I had started observing her. Not in a creepy way, just I was curious. Who she was, what she did for work, why she always came at the same time. Third week, I heard her phone conversation. "No, court is Monday. We need to prepare all the files." I realized she was a lawyer. Fourth week, when someone called her Rachel Morrison, I learned her name. Fifth week, when she said, "It always tastes so good, thank you, Jake," I realized she knew my name. I had a name tag on my shirt, but still. Sixth week, I admitted to myself that I was completely in love with her. But this was an impossible love. She was a successful lawyer, I was just a barista. She was 38, I was 27. She came to work in a Mercedes, I rode a bike. We were from two different worlds. Still, I looked forward to seeing her every morning. The best moment of my day was when she walked through the door and I'd ask, "The usual?" And she'd smile and say, "Yes, please." Gradually, we started having small conversations. "You look very busy today, Rachel. Big case coming up. Preparation process is stressful. Hope it goes well. Thanks, Jake. You have a good day too." That was it, but for me, these were golden moments. Weeks passed. I continued loving her. She continued coming every morning. A routine had formed, and I loved this routine. Then that Monday in March, everything changed. At 7:23, the door opened, but it wasn't Rachel who entered. I mean, it was Rachel, but different. Her hair wasn't in a bun, it was messy. Instead of a suit, she wore jeans and a sweatshirt. Most surprisingly, she didn't have her phone in her hand. In 6 months, I'd never seen her without her phone. She approached the counter but didn't have her usual confident demeanor. She looked tired, even a bit desperate. "The usual?" I asked out of habit. "No," she said quietly. "Just black coffee, please." This was very strange. For 6 months, she'd ordered the same thing: cappuccino, extra shot, no foam. Now she wanted just black coffee. "Large?" "Medium is fine." I prepared her coffee, and when I was about to put a lid on the cup for takeaway, she said, "I'll have it here." This was another first. Rachel had never sat in my shop before. She always took it to go. She sat at table 7. She started drinking her coffee, but when I glanced her way, I saw she wasn't actually drinking. She was just staring at the cup. Then her phone rang. "Morrison," she answered. Her voice was different from usual, tired. I couldn't hear the conversation from where I was, but Rachel's facial expression told the whole story. As she talked, her face grew darker. "I understand," she said. "Yes, you have the right." Pause. "No, I'm not objecting." Long pause. "Thank you." She hung up the phone and put her head in her hands. Then she started crying. Rachel Morrison, the strong, successful, always in control woman I'd been watching for 6 months, was quietly crying at table 7. My heart clenched. I didn't know what to do. Should I intervene or should I quietly wait? She sat like that for about 10 minutes. Occasionally, she'd wipe away tears but continued crying. She wasn't even touching her coffee. Finally, I made a decision. I came out from behind the counter and went to her. "Rachel," I said in a soft voice, "are you okay?" She looked up. Her eyes were red. Her makeup had run. I'd never seen her this vulnerable before. "Jake," she said shakily, I'm sorry. I should probably go." "No," I said quickly. "You don't need to go. This is your place too." I sat across from her. "If you want to talk, I'll listen." Rachel looked at me, surprise in her eyes. You're very kind, Jake, but this is very personal." "Rachel, you've been coming here every morning for 6 months. You're not just my customer anymore. You're also my friend." This word affected her. New tears came to her eyes. "I lost my job," she said quietly. "What?" "The partnership, the firm, they don't need me anymore." I was shocked. "But you're such a successful lawyer. You were always talking about big cases. When you lose big cases, nobody cares how hard you worked." A bitter smile. 12 years. I worked at that firm for 12 years. I had no personal life, just work. And one day they said, "We don't need you anymore." "Rachel, that's horrible." "The worst part," she continued, "I applied to other firms. Nobody wants me. It's like the lost cases have branded me." She had put her hands on the table. They were trembling impulsively. I put my hand over hers. "This is temporary," I said. "You're a very talented lawyer. There will be other opportunities." "What if there aren't?" Her tearful eyes looked at me. "Jake, I'm 38 years old. I don't know anything except law. What am I going to do?" In that moment, something broke in my heart. This strong, successful woman looked so helpless, and I wanted to help her, no matter what. "Maybe," I said slowly, "you could start your own practice." "My own practice?" She shook her head. "That requires capital, office, equipment, client base. I have none of that. But you have experience, you have knowledge. Jake, you're very sweet, but the business world doesn't work that way." That's when a crazy idea came to me. Very crazy, but maybe it would work. "Rachel," I said, holding my breath, "I have a proposal." "A proposal?" "Yes, maybe it's crazy, but will you listen?" She looked curious. "I'll listen. I work here as a barista, but I'm actually a business school graduate. I studied entrepreneurship extensively in college, and I could buy this coffee shop. We could use it as your office." Rachel's eyes widened. "What did you say?" "The owner, Mr. Martinez, wants to retire. He's thinking of selling the shop. I could use my savings, and if you started your legal consulting business, we could work together." "Jake, this is crazy. Crazy but logical. While you meet with clients, I'll continue the coffee service. Dual revenue stream. You take a share from legal consulting income, I take from coffee sales." Rachel was staring at me as if she couldn't find words. "But Jake," she said finally, "you don't even know me. Why would you take such a risk?" This question was coming, and I needed to be honest. "Because," I said slowly, you're special, Rachel. For 6 months I've watched you. You're intelligent, hardworking, principled, and my heart was beating wildly, and I'm in love with you." Silence. Rachel was looking at me, her eyes surprised. "What did you say?" "I'm in love with you. From the first day I saw you, every morning I wait for you to walk through that door at 7:23. When you speak, I listen. When you're happy, I'm happy too." Rachel stood up. "Jake, I know, it's crazy. You're a successful lawyer. I'm just a barista. You live in the big world. I work in a small coffee shop, but what? But I want to help you. The business proposal is real. My love is real too. I won't mix the two." Rachel looked at me for a long time. Dozens of expressions crossed her face. "Jake," she said finally, "this is very complicated. I know. You're 27, I'm 38. I know. This might not work. It might work too." Rachel took a deep breath. "I could take the business proposal seriously, but the other matter—" "I'm not rushing the love part," I said quickly. "Business first. You feel comfortable. I'll respect your boundaries." Rachel sat down again. "Can you really buy the coffee shop? I have savings. I can also get a loan. Martinez will ask for a reasonable price. And you're really a business school graduate. University of Seattle, 2018, GPA 3.8. So why didn't you become a lawyer or get a corporate job?" "Because I love coffee. I love daily interactions with people. Big corporate culture isn't for me." Rachel nodded. This is very crazy, Jake. Crazy ideas are sometimes the best ones. What if it doesn't work? What if we lose money? What if it works? What if we make a great team? Rachel smiled. For the first time in 6 months, a real smile. I have one condition, she said. What? I'll be senior partner. We'll make decisions together, but I have final say. I laughed. Of course, you're the experienced one. And the personal relationship matter? That's a separate issue. Business gets established, but the romantic side, we'll see with time. Agreed. Rachel extended her hand. Partners? I shook her hand. Partners. In that handshake moment, we both felt it. This wasn't just a business partnership. It was much more. The following 2 weeks were very busy. I talked to Mr. Martinez, and he was willing to sell the shop. We agreed on a fair price. Rachel and I prepared a business plan together. Rachel's legal knowledge combined with my business knowledge and coffee shop experience resulted in a very strong plan. We named it Blue Moon Coffee and Legal Consulting. Morning coffee service, afternoon legal consulting. A small office area for Rachel, client meeting corner. We detailed everything. The first weeks were tough. Rachel was trying to find new clients while I was trying to handle both coffee service and office work. But a nice synergy formed. Rachel's professional approach, customer service understanding, and detail-oriented work style improved the coffee business too. I was helping her with organization, client relations, and marketing for her legal work. At the end of the first month, our first big client came. A local restaurant chain wanted legal consulting for franchise contracts. Jake, Rachel said that evening, we really did it. That night we celebrated. Alone in the shop, we opened champagne. This is just the beginning, Rachel said. We have more work to do. We'll do it together, I said. Together, she repeated, and there was a different light in her eyes. From that day on, a special bond was established between Rachel and me. We started seeing each other every day. Sometimes she came to me, sometimes I went to her. Rachel taught me many things about art, about life, about love. I felt very developed next to her. In the second month, business went even better. Rachel's client portfolio was expanding and our coffee sales were increasing too, because clients were coming to see Rachel and she was convincing them to drink coffee. In the third month, the professional boundaries between us started to soften. We worked until late hours, eating dinner at the shop. Jake, she said one evening, I want to tell you something. What? That first day I came at 7:23, it wasn't actually a coincidence. What do you mean? My house is very far from my work. There was no logical reason for me to stop here, but, Rachel blushed. I was coming to see you. I was surprised. Really? The second day I came, I saw how you treated me, kind, sincere, real. The third day you had remembered my order, the fourth day you knew my name, so you had noticed me too? Of course. You're a very attractive man, Jake. Kind, intelligent, passionate, and that beautiful smile. We both smiled. So why didn't you say anything? Because, Rachel said, I'm a 38-year-old divorced, career-focused woman. You're 27, full of life, young. I thought it would be unfair to you. Wasn't that my right to decide? You're right. That night, 4 months later, we had our first kiss. In the shop, among the coffee machines, under the city lights. And what was wonderful was that we had both wanted this for so long. In the 6th month, Blue Moon Coffee and Legal Consulting had become one of Seattle's most recognized boutique law firms. Rachel's client list was impressive, and our coffee sales were at record levels. But most importantly, the relationship between us was developing beautifully. Professional partnership had turned into romantic partnership. Jake, Rachel said one morning, guess what happened? What? Seattle Business Journal put us on their Rising Business Partners list. Really? And even better, competing firms want me back. 3 different big firms sent offers. My heart clenched. Will you accept? Rachel looked at me, surprise in her eyes. Of course not. Why? Because I love the partnership. This partnership. She took my hand. I love working with you, Jake. I love you too, Rachel. As a business partner, in every way. That day in the shop, among customers, Rachel said, I love you too to me. Today, 1 year later, Blue Moon is still open and more successful than ever. Rachel does legal consulting, I handle coffee service and business operations. But the best part is that every morning at 7:23, Rachel still walks through the door. Not as a customer anymore, but as a partner. both business and life partner. The usual? I still ask. Yes, please, she says, but with foam now. Because people change, their needs change, but real connections, real love, adapt to every change. And sometimes, very sometimes, the person you try to save actually saves you. Rachel used to call the day she lost her job the worst day of my life, but now she says the best day of my life, because that day we truly found each other. I can say the same thing. Until that day, I was living as an ordinary barista. From that day on, I became an entrepreneur, partner, and a loved person. But our story doesn't end here, because real life is never that simple. In the 9th month, Rachel got a big offer. A prestigious law firm from San Francisco was offering a partner-level position. The salary was 3 times her current income. "Jake," she said to me that evening, "what should I do?" My heart clenched, but I needed to be honest. "This is a great opportunity, Rachel. You shouldn't miss it. But what about our partnership? What about Blue Moon? I can manage. You should live your dream career. What if I lose you?" "You won't lose me. We'll make long distance work." But we both knew this wouldn't be easy. Rachel thought for 2 weeks. Every day she became quieter, more tense. Even in client meetings, she was distracted. Finally, she made her decision. "I'm rejecting the offer," she said. "Why?" "Because money isn't everything, Jake. We built something here. Not just business, but a way of life. At the big firm, I'd be just an employee again. Here, I'm my own boss. But Rachel, and more importantly," she said, looking into my eyes, "I love you. Money won't separate us." That night, we celebrated at the shop, just the two of us, champagne and starlight. "Jake," Rachel said, "now it's your turn." "What do you mean?" "I have a proposal for you too." I looked curious. "Will you marry me?" My breath caught. "What did you say?" Rachel smiled and got down on one knee. She had a small box in her hand. "Jake Miller, you saved my life. You became my business partner, my best friend, and now you own my heart. Will you marry me?" Tears came to my eyes. "Rachel, I know traditionally the man proposes, but I'm not a traditional woman, and I can't wait for you anymore." "Of course." "Yes," I said. "Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes." That kiss, that moment, was the most perfect moment of my life. Our wedding plans also started at Blue Moon. While Rachel was giving legal advice to clients, I was also doing wedding planning. I got very good at multitasking. We had our ceremony in Blue Moon's garden. Small, intimate, perfect. Rachel's lawyer friends, my acquaintances in the coffee industry, including Mr. Martinez, were all there. "Jake," Rachel said during vows, "you didn't just make me coffee. You showed me that my dreams were possible. You taught me that love doesn't care about age, status, or background." "Rachel," I said, "you expanded my world. You gave me courage, believed in me, and made me feel worthy of so much more." We spent our wedding night at Blue Moon. Not romantic, but for us, it was perfect. Our first year was wonderful. Blue Moon expanded, we opened a second location. Rachel's legal practice grew. She now had 3 associates. I also became a board member of the Seattle Coffee Association. But the best part was still hearing Rachel walk through the door at 7:23 every morning and asking, "The usual?" Now the usual was married couple routine, the usual good morning kiss, the usual making coffee together, the usual teamwork. In our second year, Rachel got pregnant. "Jake," she said, showing me the test result, "we're going to be parents." In that moment, my world changed again. Baby Morrison Miller was coming. "What will the name be?" I asked. "If it's a girl, Luna, inspired by Blue Moon. What if it's a boy?" "Ethan," strong name like his daddy. During pregnancy, Rachel had to slow down a bit, but still worked. I went into preparing to be a dad mode, parenting books, baby equipment, nursery preparation. We added a baby corner to Blue Moon, because Luna or Ethan would also be part of our business. 9 months later, Luna was born. Beautiful, healthy, a perfect baby girl. "Jake," Rachel said, holding Luna for the first time, "she has your eyes." "But she got your stubbornness," I said, smiling. When Luna was born, Blue Moon also entered a new phase. We became a family business. While Rachel did legal work taking care of Luna, I handled coffee service and took her to Rachel during feeding time. Customers loved Luna. They started calling her Blue Moon Baby. Some came just to see her. In our third year, when Luna was 6 months old, Seattle Times did a big article about us, from coffee shop romance to family empire. The article began, "Jake Miller and Rachel Morrison's story is a modern fairy tale. Barista and lawyer, age difference, class difference, but true love and business partnership overcame every obstacle. During the interview, the journalist asked, "What was your hardest moment?" Rachel, "The day I lost my job, but now I understand that day was actually the beginning of my real life." When Rachel was considering the San Francisco offer, I was afraid of losing her, but she chose me. So what's your secret? Communication and mutual respect. We're not just spouses, we're also business partners. Balancing both is difficult, but possible. And Jake's coffee is really very good. In our 4th year, franchise opportunities started coming. Investors wanted to expand the Blue Moon concept to other cities. "What do you think?" Rachel asked. "Growing is nice, but I don't want to lose our family business identity." "Then let's be very selective. Let's only work with partners who share our values." The first franchise opened in Portland. The couple running Blue Moon Portland also came from a love story like ours. Perfect match. In our 5th year, Luna started talking. Her first word was coffee. We were so proud. "Dada coffee," she'd say to me. "Mama legal," she'd say to Rachel. In our 6th year, our second baby came, Ethan. This time a boy like Jake Jr. "Now we're complete," Rachel said, holding Ethan for the first time. Now Luna was 2.5 years old, Ethan a newborn. Blue Moon had truly become a family business. In our 7th year, Blue Moon had become Seattle's most recognized coffee and legal consultation shop. Rachel's legal practice had also entered the top 10 boutique firms in Washington state. But for us, the most important milestone was different. Luna had started saying Daddy and Mommy instead of Daddy Jake and Mommy Rachel. We were now truly a family. In our 8th year, we made a big decision. We founded Blue Moon Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing mentorship and funding to young entrepreneurs. "I want to give others the chance we got," Rachel said. We gave our first grant to a young couple from Seattle. They also wanted to open a coffee shop but didn't have capital. Their story was very similar to ours. In our 9th year, Luna started school. On her first day, she came to Blue Moon and asked, "When I grow up, will I be a lawyer or a barista?" "You can be both," I said, "or something completely different, whatever you want." "I want to run Blue Moon," she said. Rachel and I looked at each other and laughed. We were going similar paths. We had a big celebration for our 10th year. In Blue Moon's garden, 200 people, all family, friends, customers, employees. 10 years ago, I said in my speech, I was just a 27-year-old barista. I was trying to save Rachel's life, but actually, she saved my life. "Jake didn't just take me as a business partner," Rachel said. "He took me as a life partner, and together we built an empire." Luna came on stage and said, "Mommy, Daddy, you very good team." Everyone laughed and applauded. That night, after the children were asleep, Rachel and I sat on Blue Moon's terrace. "Jake," she said, "is there anything you regret?" "Nothing." "You?" "Me neither. Just what?" "I wish I had the courage in those first 6 months to tell you my feelings." "Then it wouldn't have been so dramatic," I said, laughing. "True, and I love drama." That night, 10 years later, we felt like lovers again. Parenthood, business stress, daily life. But underneath, we were still the same Jake and Rachel, the couple who met at the coffee shop who saved each other. Today, 11 years later, Blue Moon Coffee and Legal Consulting is one of the Pacific Northwest's most successful family businesses. Rachel is president of the Washington State Bar Association. I'm a board member of the National Coffee Association. But most importantly, every morning at 7:23, Rachel still walks into Blue Moon. Not for work anymore, because this is home, but the tradition continues. "The usual?" I ask. "The usual," she says. "But decaf now? Third baby is coming." Yes, Rachel is pregnant again. At 42, third baby. Doctors say geriatric pregnancy, but we say miracle pregnancy. This time twins are coming, Emma and Noah. "Jake," Rachel says, "our family is growing so big. Blue Moon will need to grow too then. Or we buy a house. House with garden and home office and playground for the kids. But we'll never leave Blue Moon. This is our starting point, the center of our love story, the foundation of our family legacy. And who knows, maybe in 20 years, Luna will inherit Blue Moon. Maybe she'll have her love story here too. Maybe new generation Morrison Millers will continue this tradition. Because some places are magic, and Blue Moon is magic for Jake Miller and Rachel Morrison. Every morning at 7:23, the woman walking through the door is no longer a customer, but wife, partner, best friend, mother, CEO, but still the same Rachel. Same beautiful smile, same smart eyes, same strong personality, and I'm still the same Jake. A bit older, much more experienced father, entrepreneur, but still the same guy who loves coffee, loves people, loves Rachel madly. What's the moral of this story? Sometimes love is found in unexpected places. Sometimes to be a hero, you don't need to wear a cape, just a caring heart is enough. And sometimes two people save each other because love is mutual salvation. The day Rachel lost her job, she called it the worst day of my life. Now she says the best day of my life because that day she found true love. I can say the same. Until that day, I was an ordinary barista. From that day on, I started living an extraordinary life. And every morning, with the usual question, I remember that day. The woman crying at table 7, desperate barista, crazy business proposal, love confession. Now at table 7, Luna does homework, Ethan plays with toys, Rachel reviews legal briefs, I test new coffee blends. Same place, completely different life. Better life. Perfect life. Because sometimes, just sometimes, a regular customer becomes your soulmate. And sometimes a 7:23 a.m. routine becomes a lifetime of happiness.